Humanity stands at the pinnacle of life on Earth, and hardly anyone pays attention to the humble, seemingly insignificant creatures that were once the ancestors of humankind. Emerging from the depths of the ocean, taking the first steps on the Earth's primordial surface, something evolved alongside the dinosaurs, birds, and mammals. It was forged by harsh nature, tested by the flow of time. A cold-blooded species with dry, scaly skin, long legs, and sharp claws. They appear everywhere, from the deep oceans to tropical rainforests and deserts, on high treetops and in dense grasslands. A creature that has existed on Earth for a very long time. Its population has spread to over 6,000 species. The lizard. Lizards belong to the group of scaled reptiles, squamata. These are reptiles with horny scales and movable lower jaws attached to the skull. Most lizard species have external ears and openings in their skulls to support their muscles. Lizards have many differences from other scaled reptiles, such as snakes, which also evolved from lizards, or the tuatara. The tuatara is an ancient lizard-like reptile from New Zealand. Despite many similarities, this reptile is more closely related to ancient turtles than to modern lizards. Lizards began to evolve 220 million years ago, during the Triassic period, alongside the first dinosaurs on Earth. Therefore, there are many connections between them, originating from a common ancestor that would later evolve into mammals. The development of gigantic sizes during the Cretaceous period, dominating the oceans, gave rise to the mosasaur, a large marine lizard closely related to today's monitor lizards. They were clever predators of the sea. The largest mosasaur, called Haenosaurus, could be over 15 meters long. They attacked sharks and other marine reptiles. Prehistoric land-dwelling lizards were also massive, like Megalania in Australia, a relative of modern monitor lizards whose length could reach up to 7 meters. Existing 30,000 years ago, it's highly likely they encountered early human settlers. Today's lizards are incredibly diverse in shape and size, from the smallest, like the Jaragua sphero, Spherodactylus ariaceae, which is only about 3 centimeters long as an adult, to the largest, the Komodo dragon, which can exceed 3 meters in length. Komodo dragons are found in many parts of the world, on every continent and landmass except Antarctica. The populations have spread across islands wherever there is a warm climate to maintain their body functions. Because lizards are cold-blooded, their bodies produce very little heat. Instead, they maintain a body temperature similar to their surroundings. To move, eat, travel, and reproduce, lizards must live in warm climates or bask in the sun to raise their body temperature. When the weather turns cold in winter, lizards will find a place to hibernate. They hide in dens or dig their own burrows to escape the cold and avoid predators. Lizards can also live underwater. They can be herbivores, eating leaves, flowers, roots, and young branches. Lizards also eat fruit. They can eat almost any kind. Carnivorous species hunt everything from insects, spiders, grasshoppers, larvae, and crickets to carrion, snails, rodents, and snakes. They even eat other lizards. Most lizard species share basic characteristics. They walk on 4 legs and are capable of sprinting, but not running long distances. A few species, like the frilled neck lizard, can run on 2 legs. All lizards have a neck and a horizontally aligned spine. The head is large. They use their tails, which contain muscle and fat, for balance. They have many teeth, and many species even have teeth on the roof of their mouth. Among lizards, only chameleons and some iguanas cannot replace their teeth. Lizards generally have excellent vision. Most notably, chameleons have independently moving eyes. They can communicate with each other using body language and colour. The agama lizard is known for its colourful skin, with patterns that are only visible under ultraviolet light. Many lizards can see light that is invisible to humans. A lizard's hearing is quite good, though not as good as a mammal's, but their sense of hearing is more sensitive to vibrations in the ground and air. They will freeze if they sense the presence of another animal. Lizards can be divided into two main suborders. 1. Iguania. This includes chameleons, agamas, collared lizards, frilled neck lizards, leopard lizards, Crotophytus, spiny lizards, horned lizards, Phrynosoma, and helmeted lizards, Corytophanidae. Most of them are arboreal, live in trees. Their fingers and toes have claws for a better grip. Their backs are curved, and the skin on their spine and dewlap has diverse structures for camouflage from predators, attracting mates, and changing their appearance. Their tongues are fleshy and not forked. Some species even have scales on their tongues. Chameleons are very special, with long, sticky tongues that can stretch to twice their body length to catch insects with incredible speed. Chameleons have one of the largest families, with the Anolis genus alone having nearly 400 species worldwide. 2. Scleroglossa. This includes all other lizard families, making it the largest lizard suborder. This suborder is further divided into 3 infraorders. Geckota, geckos, includes all geckos and the legless lizards. Geckos are famous for their ability to climb sheer vertical walls and even ceilings thanks to their long toes with excellent adhesion. A gecko's toes have tiny hair-like bristles arranged in plates, creating a remarkable adhesive force that can support up to 135 kilograms, about 300 pounds, while hanging. Each bristle is only 1/10 the thickness of a human hair. They have excellent night vision, about 350 times more sensitive than the human eye. Geckos are also among the few lizards that can vocalize, producing a variety of sounds for communication and courtship. Angiomorpha. This group includes skinks, alligator lizards, glass lizards, gallywasps, angids, plated lizards, the Gila monster, beaded lizards, knob-scaled lizards, geronotini, night lizards, monitor lizards, and true lizards, Lacertidae. Snakes evolved from this group. Most have a forked tongue to taste the air, constantly flicking it out to bring scent particles into the Jacobson's organ in their mouth. This infraorder is special because it includes the only venomous lizards. The Gila monster, Mexican beaded lizard, and monitor lizards have mild venom glands in their lower jaw, used mainly for defense. Except for large monitor lizards, like the Komodo dragon, which bites its prey and waits for the venom and infection to take hold. Only a few monitor species in the Philippines eat fruit. All others are major predators. The smallest is the short-tailed monitor in Australia, about 25 centimetres long. The average length of a monitor lizard is about 1 metre. The largest is the Komodo dragon. They have been documented attacking and killing humans. Komodo dragons are found only on a few islands in Indonesia. They are very special lizards with a high metabolism and a unique respiratory system where air flows in one direction through the lungs, similar to birds, allowing them to sprint at high speeds for longer durations. Komodo dragons are capable of strategic thinking. For example, they might act as a decoy to lure crocodiles away from their nests, while their companions sneak in to eat the eggs. Lacertoidea, true lizards. True lizards are the most common type in Europe. They are the archetypal lizard with hundreds of species across 37 different genera. Most are small, under 15 centimetres. The largest is the Gran Canaria giant lizard, which can reach up to 78 centimetres. All members of this family have a similar body plan and function, distinguished mainly by colour and skin details. Skinks are most similar to true lizards, but their necks are less distinct and their limbs are smaller. Some species have no legs at all. Skinks are known for being burrowers, spending most of their lives underground, digging tunnels and using their tongues to smell and track prey. They love to eat insects. Unlike snakes, lizards shed their skin in patches. The hard scales cannot grow, so as the lizard gets bigger, the old skin comes off in pieces rather than all at once like a snake's. The one exception is the alligator lizard, which sheds its entire skin at regular intervals. Most lizards continue to grow throughout their lives. Because of their small size, many lizards have developed a variety of defense mechanisms. Some are very fast runners, reacting swiftly to the slightest movement or sound, and can squeeze into dark corners or tight spaces where predators can't reach them. Most lizards possess the ability to camouflage. Their outer skin can mimic the colours and patterns of their environment. Chameleons and agama lizards can change their body colour to blend in or to regulate their body temperature, turning darker during the day to absorb more sunlight and become more active. This is thanks to 3 layers of adaptive cells beneath their transparent skin. The top layer controls yellow and red pigments. The middle layer mixes blue and white pigments. And the bottom layer adjusts the darkness. Some lizards have a powerful bite and can even be venomous. The Gila monster moves slowly and lacks fangs, so it bites down hard and chews. Other lizards are covered in sharp scales and spines. The thorny devil from Australia has a false head on its neck to confuse predators. Similarly, the worm lizard has a tail that looks like its head, confusing attackers and leading to the myth of the 2-headed snake. Many geckos, skinks, and a few other lizards can detach their tails when threatened. This process is called autotomy. The detached tail continues to wriggle due to reflexive muscle contractions, distracting the predator while the lizard has time to escape. Later, the lizard will regrow a new tail, made of cartilage, not bone, which is often noticeably different in colour from the rest of its body. The skink, however, stores fat reserves in its tail and will often return to eat its own severed tail to regain the lost energy. Other lizards use threat displays, such as hissing and various methods to make themselves look more formidable. For example, the frilled neck lizard will open a large flap of skin around its neck to appear bigger, or the blue-tongued skink will stick out its large, bright blue tongue when threatened, intimidating its enemies. Many lizards are territorial. They threaten and chase other lizards out of their area. Typically, males will control a territory that contains one or more females. Most lizards mate at specific times. Larger lizards may mate with multiple partners. Meanwhile, a few species like the whiptail lizard, chameleon, Komodo dragon and rock lizard are capable of asexual reproduction or parthenogenesis, producing offspring without mating. Courtship often precedes mating. The male will woo the female by bringing her food, performing gestures and dances, or showing off his vibrant, colourful scales. Many lizards use dewlaps or throat pouches, inflating them to impress females. Mating is usually quick, after which the male leaves to find other partners, while the female lays anywhere from 2 to 50 eggs. The survival rate of hatchlings is uncertain, as most mothers abandon the eggs, which are vulnerable to birds, snakes, and other lizards. The exception is a few species of skinks and spectacled lizards that guard their eggs carefully. Incubation time for lizard eggs varies from a few weeks to several months. The hatchlings emerge from the eggs looking like miniature versions of their parents. However, a few lizard species don't lay eggs. Instead, they give birth to live young. They carry the eggs inside their bodies until they hatch. Half of all skink species have this habit. The lifespan of lizards also varies greatly. Geckos typically live for 1 to 3 years. Others, like the wall lizard, have a lifespan of 5 to 10 years. Chameleons and iguanas can live up to 20 years. The Mexican beaded lizard can live for nearly 34 years in captivity. The word lizard comes from the Latin lacertus, meaning arm, which in Proto-Indo-European meant to bend or twist. Lizards typically crawl on all fours, with their elbows and knees pointing outwards. Throughout history, they have been associated with various symbols, with different cultures attributing different qualities to them. In ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, the lizard symbolized abundance and complexity because lizards were common in Egypt and Africa. Furthermore, the Dogon people of Africa carved lizard figures to protect them from evil spirits. Similarly, the Bambara people carried lizard charms for peace. Meanwhile, the Bamum people of Cameroon viewed the lizard as a symbol of fertility, often used in blessings for newlyweds and expectant mothers. The Romans saw the lizard as a symbol of death and rebirth, due to its habit of hibernation. In Christian mythology, the lizard is a conflicted figure, often associated with the evil and cunning of the serpent, or symbolizing ecstasy due to its love of basking in the sun. Lizards also appear in the consciousness of several indigenous cultures. For example, Australian Aboriginals and Native Americans revered the lizard as a symbol of patience and a meditative state. In modern culture, however, lizards are often portrayed as slow-witted, inferior, unfeeling and vicious creatures. Their frightening, bizarre appearance, cold blood and constantly flicking forked tongue evoke ancient times due to their similarities to dinosaurs, their distant relatives. Lizards also appear in horror and sci-fi films as giant monsters attacking humans, or are seen as pests like insects. This is despite the fact that they are found all over the world, eat insects and are almost entirely harmless to humans. Even the venom of most lizards is not fatal to people, with the exception of the Komodo dragon, which is considered extremely dangerous. In many tropical countries and local cultures, lizards are also prepared as food, fried, grilled or in soup. Today, people also keep lizards as pets, especially species from the iguana family. They can be gentle and docile creatures, kept in terrariums or allowed to roam around the house. It is very difficult to tame a lizard. Most species do not show affection like dogs or cats, and they rarely reciprocate their owners' actions. Although lizards are relatively easy to care for, many types, like iguanas, require special conditions, including specific habitats and diets. They need plenty of sunlight and water, and a diet of leaves and insects. New owners often overlook these needs, which can affect the lizard's health and even lead to its death. Some species, once mature, have adapted to human environments. Chameleons, for instance, often appear around residential areas in the tropics, and some even seem friendly towards people. Today, many lizard species are threatened, especially the large tropical species. The main causes are climate change, habitat loss, and human impact that disrupts their natural lives. Lizards are among the oldest surviving animals on Earth, having weathered natural disasters and extinction events over hundreds of millions of years. Although humans are the dominant species on this planet, lizards appeared long before us and will likely continue to exist even if humanity disappears.